Hello and welcome back to my channel, Thrifty Day. My name is Leah. I'm the creator behind Thrifty Day. Today's episode is really fun because it's a very simple journal with me and a tutorial. I made these really cute junk journal apple pockets over on Patreon, and I thought since they were so fun and super cute that I would also make a tutorial that would be permanently here on YouTube for everyone to see. These pockets are very simple to make. You just need some tags, some scrap paper. I added this cute little heart doily and these apples. You can find these in like the teacher supply areas at craft stores. You could make your own. If you're on my Patreon, I do also have it as a digital on my page, so you can grab it there. I would print it on cardstock. You will also need paper scraps. You'll need a paper scrap big enough for the back if you want to line the back of that apple. I'm using tags, and I'm also using a vintage book page just to decorate the tag. And you will also need some trim of some sort. I'm going to use this daisy trim. I purchased it at Joann's, and I'm going to put a old playing card in the pocket. I'm going to line that as well. Okay, so let's get started. You will need glue. I'm going to use white glue. I'm going to use PVA. You can use any white glue, even just Elmer school glue. I'm also going to use fabric tack in a little bit as well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, if you're going to cover the back, add a lot of white glue generously to the back, and you're going to want to put it on one of your larger pieces of scrap paper. If your plan is to just glue your apple right down into your layout, you can totally skip this part. But if you want to make it a fold out, or if you want it to be a standalone piece, I do recommend covering the back just because it just makes it a little bit prettier and it makes it a little more sturdy as well. So make sure that all of the edges are nice and squished down onto that paper. Let's set it aside and let it dry for a little bit. While we're going to let it dry, we're going to cut out one of our little dwarfs. How cute is this? From a, actually, this is from a Wonderful World of Reading book. Isn't it precious? I'm just going to do a really quick cut around the sleepy character. And then once it's cut out, I'm also going to use my Tim Holtz Distress ink. I'm using brushed corduroy just to kind of make it look a little bit cleaner. I am not the best fussy cutter in the world. I just don't think I have the patience for it. So I'm just going to kind of do a real quick cut. And the way I cover my tracks and make it look a little bit nicer is by adding that Tim Holtz Distress ink. It covers everything up. So it's very simple. You just get the dauber and then I go all the way around the image. And it just makes it look a little bit cleaner. And then once we have completely added all of our distress ink all around our cute little image, and you could use any image. You don't have to use an image at all. You can draw something. It could just be where you put your journaling. But once you finish this part, I'm going to use the same white glue and I'm going to glue it onto that yellow tag. And then you can write a name on there. You can put a photo on the back. I'm actually going to show you how I use the apple that I made for myself in my journal. So stay tuned if you wanted to see that journal with me to see how I put this in my own personal journal. And if you are new to my page, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Please leave a comment down below so I can say hi. I have been trying to keep up with comments. This has been a super busy week because it is the week before I ship all of my monthly mail for Patreon. So I'm a busy bee over here, but I promise to get right back onto my YouTube comments because I love connecting. I think that's such a fun part of YouTube, that we all get to connect from all over the world. I mean, that's pretty exciting if you ask me. The next thing I'm going to do is use that same white glue, and I'm just going to cover the back of this vintage card. There's nothing exciting. It's just a red playing card. So I'm going to get some more of that decorative cardstock and just put it right on there. Again, I'm going to set it aside to dry because that playing card is a little bit glossy, so it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. I don't want it sliding everywhere. So I'm just going to press it on. I'm going to set it aside. And then once it's a little bit more dry, I can cut it out. And then I'm just going to use it to put inside the apple pocket. It's just a little bit more decorative, a little bit more fun, a little bit more eclectic. Just adds a fun little whimsical touch. And so now that our apple is a little bit more dry, we can cut it out. Like I said, I'm a terrible cutter. I don't know what my deal is, but just do the best you can. Trim as closely as you can around that apple so that you just have a nice silhouette. That's what you want. You want it to look kind of seamlessly together. And you can do this very simple tutorial with any shape. I am using the apple because I had sent these out in ephemera packs. a previous month, and they are available as digitals on my Patreon. But you can use any shape. If you have other digitals like a strawberry or a flower, this would be really cute. You would just do the exact same thing, but adapt it to whatever shape that you are using. It's been really fun to branch out and be a little bit more artsy craftsy. I think that I'm getting into my, arts and crafts era, if you will. I'm having a lot of fun using glue and markers and stickers. I think it's because my planner, list, and overflow journal is like so very elementary school nostalgic, if you will. So it has me in this very arts and craftsy mood. Anyway, so let me show you how we're going to adhere the pocket. It's very simple. I am going to use fabric tack because this apple I'm using is a little bit glossy. So I feel like fabric tack might work a little bit better. I'm going to put a layer or a line of that fabric tack around the bottom half of the apple. Just the bottom half. You don't need to go any higher. And then I'm going to get a scrap paper and I'm going to put it right over that line. You'll see it'll create a very natural pocket. You want it to be pretty much straight across. If it isn't exactly perfect, don't worry. We're going to put trim across the top, and that can kind of cover if it's a little bit crooked or, whatever. So don't fuss too much, but do make sure it is completely pressed on. And then once again, let's set that aside for a moment just so that it can dry and we can cut it out. I also like to put like a card or something after I glue it, just to make sure I didn't glue it completely down to the apple, in case there was like any stray glue I didn't notice. So now that that's adhered, set it aside. Let's trim up that playing card because I'm sure that's dry enough to go ahead and trim up. And then once we've finished this part, we can move on to trimming that pocket out. And if you would be so kind as to like this video, that helps my channel enormously. And I really appreciate it. It's a really simple, very kind gesture. If you would just give this video a like, and a comment would be even better, I would be eternally grateful. So the next step is we are going to trim off the excess of that pocket. And for whatever reason, I am struggling. I'm telling you, scissors and we don't mix. I'm not sure what the situation is, but I struggle. So you just want to trim it as close to the apple as possible because it is going to be our pocket and we want it to look nice and clean. If it's not perfect, don't worry. We're going to use that same Tim Holtz Distress ink all around the apple and it will make it look a little bit cleaner. If you're wondering where you can purchase Tim Holtz Distress ink, you can find it at Michael's. You can find it at Joann's. I'm thinking it's probably even on Amazon. And yeah, it's a really nice, fun little tool to have in your journaling arsenal, I think, for this sort of purpose. I know a lot of people use them in very artistic ways, especially like mixed media artists. You can find a lot of that here on YouTube. It's very inspiring on how people use and creators use the beautiful dyed inks by Tim Holtz. But I use it in a very simple way and I love it. It works really well for me. The next thing we are going to do is add some decorative trim to the top of our pocket. I am going to use this flower ribbon. I purchased this at Joann's. It's like in the Easter section. It's technically like a seasonal ribbon. And it's just little daisies. And I've been using it on everything. All of my journals, all of my pockets. I've been making little upcycled pins. I just love them. They're so cute. I have 3 rolls and I'm going to be so sad when they're all out. But yeah, you're just going to use that fabric tack, put a thin strip right across the top and make sure that your trim is nice and adhered. Again, put something in between to make sure you didn't glue down your pocket. And then pretty much we are done, folks. We've created the cutest little pocket. I'm going to add this heart doily. I just think it's really cute, adds a little touch. I'm going to add the tag on there right into the pocket and the little playing card. Well, that concludes the tutorial portion of this video. Now we can move on to the journal with me portion. And I'm very excited to show you how I use the Apple Pocket in my own personal journal. This video in and of itself has been a journey because I made one of these pockets as a sample. And then I made another one on a Patreon Live, and now I've made another one for YouTube. So I have Apple Pockets everywhere. And then the other funny part about this video is I was going to actually just make a layout. I was just working and I thought, oh my gosh, I need to film it. So I've already even glued it onto the page. But whatever, we're going to go with it, guys. We're just going to go with it. So the only thing you missed is that I did glue my original pocket, I think this is the sample one, right onto that page into my journal. I thought it would be fun to add all of these vintage trim and rickrack labels. I put a lot of vintage trim and rickrack into the ephemera packs that I sent recently for Patreon. And I just love the packaging. So I'm going to add these. And then I'm going to add some of the actual vintage rickrack. And I also thought it would be fun to print some old Snow White photos of my family. And oh my gosh, look at my littles. They were so little there. Those are my daughters when they're very young. Now they're 18 and 21. So, and Lizzie is 24. My goodness, time flies, folks. So I just printed these little sticker photos on my little Kodak personal printer. And I am going to just take them off and put them on the various pieces of ephemera in the apple pocket. By the way, if you are new, please say hello, leave a comment, introduce yourself. I would love to get to know you. This has been such a busy week. It's the last week before my big Patreon shipping day. I ship all of my Patreon mail on the 1st of every month. So I have been like the busiest bee over here. So I don't know that I've gotten to all of my YouTube comments, but I definitely try because my favorite part of YouTube is that we get to connect. Something about connecting with everyone all over the world is just so very exciting and wonderful. We're so lucky to live in an age where that is something that we have access to. So if you are new, say hello. Let's engage. Let's chit chat. And I would just love to say hi. So I love this little heart-shaped doily. I got it in the dollar bin at Target, like a little pack of them. But it's very, very, very fragile. So I'm going to just add some glue and put it right onto some cardstock and cut it out. I thought it would be cute to use these scallop scissors I got at a thrift store. Now, I'm not a great cutter anyway, you guys. But oh my goodness, I've never used these like patterned scissors. And they're hard to use. I swear they have a life of their own. They were like going all kinds of directions. I don't know, maybe I just need to practice more. Does anybody have tips on how to use these patterned scissors? They've been around for decades and I'm not somebody to use them, but when I saw them, I thought, oh, these will be fun to use. Okay, they were hard. You can see me struggling a little bit here. I'm doing my best, but I do ultimately like the way it looks. It's a little odd because it was odd using the scissors, but I don't know, maybe I just need to practice. I'll keep working at it. But I backed it on that really cute cardstock. And I'm going to put this picture of Lizzie right onto that little doily. The funny story about this picture of Lizzie is when I was doing this layout, I wanted to find old pictures of us with Snow White. So there's that one with me and Steve. It's actually at a private party at Disneyland. And then there's ones of my daughter when they're really young. But when I first typed in Snow White into my search bar, I thought a bunch of pictures of our old pictures of Snow White would come up. They kept just showing, my phone just kept showing me pictures of Lizzie. Isn't that funny? So I guess my phone thinks that Lizzie is Snow White, and she definitely does look like Snow White, especially when her hair was short. So I printed the picture that they kept showing me of her. I thought it was so cute. My phone thinks Lizzie is Snow White. So anyway, that's a fun little story. So the next thing I'm going to do is add the vintage rickrack. I chose yellow, and it is old new stock, obviously, so it's very bright and vibrant, and it matches the like print on the apple. So I'm just going to put glue on all four sides, and then I'll put the rickrack right over it. Fabric tack is very forgiving and for like the first few seconds. Like you have a good 30 seconds before it's really, really dry. So I really like to use it, especially for anything that is trim or fabric related. So I put it right on there, and then I end up putting it down the side, the bottom, and the other side all in one swoop. And it worked out great. And I did have to put a little bit extra in the corners because it didn't like completely flatten. But this is really cute, and it adds just a very vintagey little touch. Something about rickrack reminds me of Fantasyland. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just think it's the sweetest. So as you can see, I put a little bit more in the corners, and then I press down to make it nice and flat. And I'm gonna put this little piece of like parchment paper on the side though, because that glue wasn't entirely dry, but I did just want to move on to the other side. So for the back, I'm keeping it really simple. I love advertising, especially vintage advertising. So when I had all of these really cute vintage trim labels. I decided to just keep them all in one piece, and then I add glue stick to the back, and I'm just going to glue them completely onto both pages that you see here. And I apologize, I think I'm a little out of frame for most of it. I'm still getting used to my setup. I completely redid my studio, and my setup is still just a little bit different, so I apologize. I'll get it right at some point. I don't know when, but I promise I will. I had posted a short a couple days ago asking if you all wanted to see organizational videos, because I did just redo my studio space. And I do realize I have things that I have done for years and years that I find very helpful. Obviously, if you're a journaler or a planner or somebody who loves paper crafting, you know that you just have a lot of stuff. You can't get away from it. From your personal ephemera to paper crafting supplies, scissors, pens, markers, different glues, metals, eyelets, book pages. We just have a lot of things. And so I do have some tips and tricks that I've done throughout the years that have been very helpful to me. So I would love to make a couple videos. I think I want to kind of make them in parts though, because I organize different things different ways. So I don't know, that probably doesn't make sense. But if you want to see organizational videos, let me know. We can go into more in depth when I make the actual videos. I'm rambling on. But anyway, all I'm doing is gluing those little advertising pieces to the back, and I love the way they look. So honestly, we're just about done. I have the general layout. I'm very happy with how the pieces look. I think they look really sweet. I'll do all of my journaling off camera. My plan is to journal all around the apple and on the little pieces, but I did think it would be really fun to add a few stickers. And I also want to show you, I got some new stickers, and I got a new sticker container, and it can just get stored right with my books. You can slide it right in to a bookcase. I actually purchased it at Daiso, so I'm going to get some apple stickers out of here. How cute are, look at, I got new stickers, you guys. How fun. Look at, these are really cute little puffy stickers, and then I got cats dressed as vegetables. But I got lots of really cute stuff, and I got them at Daiso, and I got the container at Daiso as well. So anyway, I'm going to grab these apples, and I'm just going to put them all across the bottom. We have a really cute little apple theme going, so I thought I would just keep it going and keep the theme alive. Something about these apple stickers took me right back to elementary school. I don't know if it's just like the bright, vibrant colors, or I don't know, but I'm telling you, they make me so happy. So I just stuck them across the entire bottom of the page, mainly because they were bright, and you know, we have an apple pocket, and now we have lots of apple stickers. So the next thing I want to show you after I put my apple stickers away is I received some happy mail, and it is so darn cute. I wanted to share it with you because I am so grateful. I'm always so excited when I receive happy mail. So this particular happy mail happened to come just as I was making this layout. So I thought it would be fun to share because it is also bright and cheery, but it's from Liz Martinez. And how cute are those little dogs? Oh my gosh, anyone who knows me knows I'm obsessed with dogs. So every time I get something like paper crafty dog in the mail, I'm so excited. So all of this is beautiful. And what's really fun is that the page that my apple is on is actually a pocket. So I thought it would be fun to just stick some of these cute little pieces inside that pocket as a memory as well. And anyone who knows me knows I love mushrooms, and I love list paper pads. So the fact that there was some little list paper pads included made my whole day. I do have a list journal. If you're on Patreon, you know it well. I talk about it all the time. So I'm very excited. And if you can hear my dog barking, everyone say hello to Winnie. Sorry about that. Look at how cute these mushrooms are though. I'm telling you, every time I sit down to do VO for a YouTube, chaos erupts. Dogs start barking, gardeners come, helicopters come. It's like the way of the world for me. So if you can hear the gardener and the loud cars and all the dogs barking, I am so sorry. I got to tell you, I do my very best, but sometimes the world just has it out for me, I'm telling you. So anyway, I'm going to add a few more little odds and ends. I loved that little mushroom. I loved all these little sweet stickers. And then I'm going to do my journaling off camera. I will be sure to come back and show you the completely and totally finished layout in a moment. Okay, so I have finished all of my journaling. I did it off camera, and here is the complete layout. It was really fun, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. It's a very simple layout, but it all is very meaningful to me, and so I think that is the beauty of memory keeping and junk journaling, is that all of these little pieces have memories and are important to you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the journal with me. Be sure to let me know if you wanted to see organizational videos. That's something I would love to put on my channel. I just want to make sure that that's content that everyone is interested in watching. I love doing it, so I would be happy to show you. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I hope everyone has a really great week. I hope you find time to journal, and I hope you were very inspired by this video. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.